push. And yeah, and I'm happy that everyone has chosen this program. They've joined this program to get the guidance. So let's begin. Uh, I'll start with a small report. So basically, and by the way, good morning, everyone. So there is a report provided by Gartner. So Gartner is a American company, and it's a technology research company. What it does is it looks into the trends of technology, what's booming, and it's going to provide a report to most of the uh, enterprise applications. I mean, enterprises, industry, and leaders saying like what's going to be in the future. I mean, what are the best technologies which will stay alive, and what are the ones which might go as a legacy applications. So always we wanted to be in the realm where we wanted to go fast forward. We wanted to learn technologies which are better. So this Gartner report states that by 2028, cloud computing is going to be evolved like a business necessity. So currently we are in 2024. It's a technology disruptor. So basically, I see your hand has been raised. Yeah.
Yes, Sampath. So we have one more guest who's joined us. I'm sorry to interrupt where I should have not. Um, m- Sir, if you can just change your name and rename yourself instead of panelist. If you can have your name on the panelist board, that will be great.
So this is for Krishna, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Hi. Very good morning, Krishna.
Good morning, Avneet. Yeah, I'll
Hi.
change it right away.
Yes, sure.
Hey,
No
Sampath.
problem. No
Hey.
worries.
Hi.
So, ladies, let me just tell you whom you are listening to. So, these are both guests who have come from Broadridge, and Sampath and Krishna. They are going to talk about, as Sampath had already started, he is going to talk about cloud computing as well as uh,
Cybersecurity.
cybersecurity. Cybersecurity and cloud computing, Sampath is going to take care of, and also blockchain will be taken care of. Krishna, they're going to share their views with you. And if you have any questions, please hear them out first before you place any questions. It's better to understand what they are sharing with you. Try to make the note of most of the points, and then please put up your question in the question and answer. You have this question box, so you can put in your questions, and we will be able to take care of the questions later then. But before, try to patiently hear what the guests are sharing with you. So over to both of you. Thank you so much, Krishna and Sampath.
Thanks, Amit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so where I was giving a report on Gartner, right? So Gartner has published this report saying like by 2028, cloud computing is going to be like a technology. Uh, it's not going to be a technology disruptor. Still, it's going to be a business necessity, which means like every company would like to be on cloud. So that's a very good news. So if you look into the report, it also says like currently in 2024, almost $650 billion have been spent on cloud services, and it is going till 1 trillion, which is like too good. The pace at people are moving from the legacy data centers to cloud is like really at fast pace. As I mentioned, it's not a technology enabler or disruptor anymore, but it's going to become a business necessity. So as the numbers speak, so we should also be aiming at learning these technologies. And as I mentioned, as you are ready to work and you want to get into some niche technologies, I mean, there are like old programming language. I wouldn't call old, but there are programming languages which is coming over decades, like Java, C++, and everything. But these are something at a point they're stagnant because you have a lot of information, but you need to look into the future. And that's where we have to choose the right technology. when we want to emerge as a technologist in the future. And you also need to see an opportunity, right? So cloud computing, cybersecurity, and blockchain, these are the three niche technologies, and even more I would speak to you. There's one more like prompt engineering, which is not there on our topic, but still I would like to have a 2 minute on that as well. So let me share my screen. And yeah, I hope you are able to see my screen. Please do let me know if you are not able to.
Yes, your
So
screen is
this,
visible, sir.
yeah. So this is our agenda to today. What is cloud? Advantages of cloud? What is cybersecurity? How to upskill ourselves? Training references and questions. And then Krishna is also going to talk about blockchain. So this is what I was talking about, right? So where are we? Most organizations are here in 2023 as an enabler and technology disruptor, but we are moving towards the top of the pillar or the pyramid, where it would be like a business need, necessity. So this is where we can take that opportunity to get into this technology, to learn, and this is something which anyone can do. A fresher who is or a graduate who is out of the college, or anyone who is trying to switch their career from anything, or someone who wants to switch their technology like from Java to cloud, or like you all who wants to restart their journey into cloud, or into you want to enter into a professional career. And this is a good choice because the metric speaks for us. We can see the Gartner, who is situated in Stanford, is making the statement, and it has 100 peers, 100,000 peers of network, like business leaders and technology enthusiasts. They meet, they talk in conferences, and they give this report saying like, yes, we wanted to do cloud computing, and there's only 50% till date which has been completed, and there is more 50% to it. So in order to give you a small story about cloud computing, it has begun in 1960s, but the actual disruption started within the early 2000s. And the first one, I would say, Salesforce is the one who has started it. And then in 2006 or 8, AWS. These are the major players I'm talking about. The AWS, Amazon Web Services, it's a sister company of Amazon. So they are the ones who has made major disruptions. And Google and Microsoft, you already know Azure. So these are the main players of cloud computing. And I would say like nowadays everyone wants to move on to cloud. People do not want to focus on having or their own data centers, which would cost more. So I've given a lot of introduction on the technology and everything, but I thought I would give an introduction about me as well. So this is Sampath Arnuri from Broadridge. I've been having 15 years of experience and almost 10 years plus into cloud, specifically AWS and Azure. So I've been into multiple technologies like uh, .NET, Java, but always my heart was lying towards cloud. So I've done multiple certifications, and I also train people around cloud technologies. So yeah, this is about me. And going into further, so what's cloud computing? So basically, we have been hearing this term like cloud computing and all. So if you could have was previously working in any company like 10 years back or something, or even now today, you can see they have server rooms where there's a stack of servers, and there's an IT department, IT team who is responsible for managing those servers. You need to have a good power backup and good refrigeration, so that the fans and everything, I mean, it's not uh, just a second. Yeah. So the environment is good, So everything is maintained, backups are taken. So all this would be managed by the company itself. So this is very difficult, and this is where people wants to move to something which is like cloud, public cloud. So it's nothing but you can rent a physical server over the internet, and you can use it, pay for what you have used, and then dump it. So it's so easy, like a subscription model. That's what is so powerful about cloud computing. So it's a transformation technology. So previously people didn't agree to it or adapt to it, but later on over the decade, now it's become like a core thing to have in every company that, okay, now it's high time that we need to move towards cloud. The major reason is, if I have to build any application which is high compute, when I say high compute, it's like higher CPU, higher memory, higher storage. You need to purchase them individually. And you never know, like the project is going to stay live for 5 years, 3 years, or it can be shelved within 6 months. So you don't want to purchase that high machinery and maintain it for yourself. And tomorrow, as you have seen, like there's a lot of technology transformation. uh, you need to evolve, you need to change the servers very frequently, and that's not doable for this companies, because it's too costly for them. So they don't want to pay for it. Okay. They don't want to pay for this machines which are staying there ideal. So that's the reason of this cloud, where we have service providers. We call them as service providers like Amazon, Microsoft, Google, who would provide you services. Like it can be platform as a service, it can be software as a service, it can be infrastructure as a service. So what we are talking about is mainly this infrastructure, platform, and software as a service, where these servers, network, storage, appliances, everything is provided over the network to you. Okay. And it's going to be like rented. You can use it based on paper use, something like that. So what are its advantages? It's secure, because already it's a service provider. It gets audited, it gets compliance from other third parties, where they would get it audited, like how our entire data center is secure. So similarly, they do it for their data center, and it's vast. By the way, it's like vast, and it is scalable. So which means, like today, I'm opting for something like a 10 GB machine. And if you want to make it like 15 GB machine for your laptop, personal laptop, you need to go to the service center, get it replaced, and it takes at least a minimum of a day. But this one, using the cloud providers, on single click of a button, within 5 minutes or even less than that, you can get your entire configuration changed. That's the power of it. So it's secure, it is scalable, it is elastic. So we can add more servers to it and detach them, or even shut down them whenever required. And it is so accessible over internet. Like you can access over any place, from any place. You can shut down the machine, start the machine. You need not be physically available. So it is broadly accessible. Over the mobile, you can switch it off. So it is secure and compliant as well. So there are like HIPAA compliance and PCI compliance. When I say HIPAA and PCI, it's like payment card industry and the medical industry. They are also approving this cloud computing. And because, let's say, if you have to work on any clinical trial, it almost takes like 5 to 10 years for a drug to be released. And it also takes large compute machines to process their trials. And this is where cloud computing is so advantageous, that we can use their high performing servers like GPUs servers, and it will be faster, secure, so that they can release their trials sooner and get the reports, or whatever. Either they can fail fast, or they can release the drug sooner. So that's one of the advantages. So there is one more component. Like cybersecurity is a different, again, it's a different technology. It's not limited for cloud. It's also applicable for on-premise as well. So as the name suggests, it's an information technology security platform involving practices, tools, and process designed to protect computer systems, networks, devices, and data from unauthorized access, damage, or attacks. So in simple, you I can assure that most of you have are prone to some sort of an cyber attack. Okay, we can see like most of our systems are compromised, our mobile phone getting compromised, or our emails getting compromised, uh, loss of information, loss of data. You must be hearing that recently AIMS data in Delhi has has been hacked by hackers, and they have lots of data on the patients, which is highly sensitive information, right? So how do you want to secure this entire wealth of information? So that's where cybersecurity comes. There are multiple attacks like ransomware, malware attacks, where if that is why you might be receiving messages like, hey, click on this, you are getting a free gift coupon or something. So and there are like campaigns running saying like, do not click on these phishing emails because they would steal your data, even your personal content as well, like the photos and everything. So it's better not to stay away from them. So that is called as phishing and ransomware, where a virus is being injected. And man in the middle attacks, where let's say you are in a public zone like an airport or a railway station or a bus terminal, where you would just look for a public free Wi-Fi. So free Wi-Fi's, I would say, stay away from them, because that is where a person, a hacker, is waiting for you to enter some credentials so that they can extract them. So I would say stay away from anything free. That's one thing. That's man in the middle attacks, and distributed denial of service. We call it as DDoS, which means like there is a lot of bots, chat bots, which are making fake requests to our application and making our server go down. So, so that is one of the frequent attacks which we see. And the fourth one is in-person attacks, like within the company itself. If someone with eliminated permissions or someone who is not authorized is bypassing those permissions and trying to access some confidential data. So how do I protect these is something cybersecurity teaches you about. Uh, but as I said, I'm going, and cybersecurity is going to stay like that, and it's not going to be a, a legacy anymore, because cybersecurity is needed for everything, be it cloud, be it on-premise. So be it for any device, any application, you need cybersecurity. So this is one of a very good opportunities for you to learn if you are very keen on security and all. But again, my preference, the preferences would change. But if you see a company where, if you're talking about 5,000 employees and there's a big company, uh, the group of cybersecurity people is like limited. We will have security engineers, we will have chief information security officer, and the tools to control them. So the opportunities are like tight. You have to be very good with this cybersecurity. You need to do some certifications. You should be passionate about it. So you can also become an ethical hacker if you are very passionate. So when you compare it with cloud computing, it's like huge. So over the period, there have been multiple applications which have been developed and stored on on-premise data servers. And all of that needs to be migrated onto cloud. And still, as I said, only 50% or even less than that has been accomplished till date. And we have long way to go, like 5 years. So I'm saying like, direct, or I would say, let's aim for this 5 years. So I am not saying like cloud computing would stay forever because everything gets automated in this world. So I would say, as of today, you still have 5 to 10 years where all of that 50% which is remaining, if you have to migrate to cloud, you still have time. So that is the reason I'm saying like concentrate on cloud computing. And who are the big players? Amazon Web Services, Microsoft, which is like Azure, Google Cloud is there, Oracle Cloud is there. All of these four providers, see, service providers are different, but what they offer is the same. Only the names change. So keep in mind that, okay, I'm a cloud engineer. It's not like I'm only an AWS professional, but you can do the same job with all these clouds. So all you need to do is just start learning them. You can start today. Within a month, I can surely tell you that within a month you can get to know what's cloud computing, what kind of services are available, how do I explore them, and if you still get interested to learn more, and if you take few more courses, I'm definitely going to tell you that you would reach out in a very good shape, very good company, which is starting to work on cloud computing. So these are few learnings where you can do. So you can type in amazon.com and training, and there are multiple ways to do cloud trainings. I'm open with you where you can go YouTube. There are n number of YouTube channels. I do not want it to paste the channel information here because it's like I might be interested in one author, or you might be interested in some other language and some other author because you might be fast paced or slow paced. But as I said, you if you just type in AWS cloud computing or cloud computing, there are a good number of channels provided in the YouTube where you can subscribe to one and get trained. And the first thing what I would say is when you are working on anything, you practice it. Without practice, it would not get into your mind because all I do is visual learning, then it stays for only 2, 3 days. But once you type in, once you key in and try to get knowledge about it, try to understand it, try to make some exercises, a small POCs out of it, then that is where it stays forever, or I would say it stays for a longer period. So that is the reason I'm saying you should start exercising it. So there are courses in Udemy. Udemy is where it's a paid subscription course. There are multiple platforms as well, like Simply Learn, Udemy, Linux Academy, which is now taken up by Udemy. So there's a lot of content. It's like probably 1,000 rupees per learning, I would say. So I would say spending 1,000, 2,000 is not a big deal nowadays, because it lands you in high salary jobs, high paid jobs. So I'm telling you, please go over these sessions. If it's not free as well, please try to purchase them, subscribe to the content, try to learn them, and definitely you would get into a better job. I'm sure. And if you need any guidance, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. It's Sampath Arnuri, and you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. You can put a personal message. I can help you out on what needs to be done. But definitely, this is a good opportunity, I would say. And yeah, I think it ends here. It's great speaking to you all, and I would forward this to Krishna. Thanks, Krishna. I would stop sharing my screen.
Sure. Thanks, Sampath. Hello, all. Good morning. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So I am Krishna Teja. I've been working with Broadridge for the last 7 years. I have an experience around 12 plus years, and for the last 3 to 4 years, I've been working on blockchain. Uh, Unlike Sampath, I don't have any presentation. I was held up in some deliverables, so I couldn't make one. But that said, I would like to understand the nature of audience we have. For example, what I mean by that is uh, how many are looking for a technical role and how many are looking at a, a from a business standpoint. Avneet, can you
Yes,
can
yes, Krishna. So thank you so much for joining us. And as I shared with Sampath as well, these are all restart of women, and
Mhm.
they're part of Hershakti program. I am sure you're aware of Hershakti program.
Yes, yes.
So I would say all of the women have the tech knowledge, and this the plan moving forward is to get back to the corporate, the workforce. Yeah.
Okay,
So yeah, so as of now, they are in they have done AI foundation training, I would say. Okay, and now when we are moving to phase two, they are planning to move into the courses offered, which are 6 courses, which also includes blockchain. Okay, and
okay,
as Sampath spoken, cybersecurity and cloud computing is also part of the courses offered. So hence the reason we are hearing from you.
okay. Understood. No, the reason I asked that question was
Mhm.
the orientation on blockchain will be a bit different for the business people who are looking to build up their career as business analysts versus people who are uh, planning to look at the technology that powers blockchain.
Okay.
Let me
So
give
few
you
of the comments, if you can just read in the chat box, there are people who are putting in that I'm on a career break and want to rejoin workforce, but due to career gap, we are not getting in company. Moving from testing to development, technical,
right,
we have technical knowledge, only we don't have job.
right.
So yeah. So this is how it is. It is more of moving into the corporate and not from the entrepreneurship per se. But
Okay.
yeah,
Okay, so maybe then I'll give you a 5 to 5 minute introduction about what is blockchain in general,
right.
uh, from my understanding. The second thing is I have a PDF which talks about the roadmap, what it makes to become a blockchain developer. The third thing is there are certain articles which actually give a cue on what it takes to work in this area. Okay. Um, so let me start off with what is blockchain. Uh, so if you just type on Google, you will see that you will see content such as a distributed ledger, distributed system of consensus, etc. So you have a lot of key points which actually describe blockchain. But if you decode all those keywords, it is uh, it's basically you can say a technology that has been built over certain developments in computer science. Now, what are those developments? For example, distributed systems. If you just take the way our ATMs work, okay. You have a concept called as cap theorem, okay, consistency, availability, partition tolerance, etc. So you so you the current distributed systems, they work on this cap theory. Okay, then you have the network. Okay, with internet penetration, you have most of the systems in the world connected today. Then next you have the databases. Okay, so the the way blockchain has been designed, or the way the concept has been designed, is that earlier, or if you see the current traditional setup, it's all centralized storage. For example, say you have an email account with Google, and so Google stores all your details. Okay, uh, uh, in blockchain, the system, that the way data is stored is not centralized, but each and every participant in the network has a copy of the entire data. So now what does this help? It basically reduces the double recording. What I meant to say is, say you're transferring some amount from your account to another person's bank account. So you have you have a system where the records are maintained at double places, one from the host bank and one from the receiver bank. But in a blockchain system, the entire transaction is maintained on just one single database, whereas the copies of the transaction are available across the nodes. Uh, uh, am I good till here? Any comments? Right. Thank you. So why do we need blockchain? So whenever anyone getting into this area, the first criteria that one can think of is trust. Let me take an example. Say I have borrowed some amount from a colleague of mine, and in my record, I maintain in my database, I maintain a record saying that I borrowed some X rupees from so and so person. The same record, the other person also maintains that he or she has given some X rupees to me. Okay. Later in future, I repay back with whatever interest or etc. But there is always a chance that the person from whom I borrowed can always deny that he hasn't received the amount. Okay, that's one thing. The second thing is that I can also deny that I have already paid the amount and I have nothing more to pay. So here, if you see, there is a lack of trust issue. Okay, one simple concept is that, generally you maintain you have witnesses for these for such transactions. Now there is always a possibility that the witness can also go corrupt. Okay, uh, there is always a chance that the witnesses can also be corrupt. Now so there is no foolproof solution per se for problems like this, and blockchain as a concept attempts to solve these things. Now, how it is solved? As I said, it's an amalgamation of developments that have happened in the computer science. So one of the algorithm that is used is called as consensus algorithm. You have something called as proof of work, proof of stake, etc. So using these algorithms, the transaction authenticity is determined. Whether a transaction needs to be committed or not is determined through these algorithms. Now, what is the advantage of maintaining the copies? So basically, it is like you are. I have a question on the chat, so that is I'm replying to that. So, what is the advantage of maintaining a copy? So, it is basically to have a redundancy. Say, for example, you are switched off from the network. Okay, but again, when you join back, when you're part of the blockchain, entire nodes get in sync through something called as gossip protocol. Uh, uh, so it's like how gossips happen. The same way computers talk to each other. So just trying to understand whether their state is in sync with the current state of the blockchain or not, and that's how the copies are got back. And the other advantage apart from redundancy is your high availability, because the data is available at your disposal and no one can tamper it. So yeah, so that is a brief introduction of what a blockchain is. And basically, a blockchain is required where you have trust issues, where uh, maintenance of trust, verifiability, authenticity, etc., is required. There you have a use case for blockchain. Not all use cases require blockchain, but where trust is the core criteria, there it is required. Yes, mainly used in banking sector. See, banking sector is one of the use cases. For example, NPCI, National Payments Corporation of India, which has developed the UPI, they currently work on something called as Hyperledger, which is a private blockchain. Now, in this blockchain, we have two different kinds, private and public. So yes, banking sector has an application for blockchain. Now, what are private blockchains and what are public blockchains? So public blockchains are anyone can come and participate in the transaction, whereas private are limited. Only a set of audiences, authorized audiences are allowed to participate on the network. So I have a question on, do you mean banking and fintech blockchain is reliable technology? It is a reliable technology because you are ensuring that a transaction once committed, it cannot be edited. Only there are, if you there you cannot update a transaction, you can only create. You cannot even delete a transaction. So if there is any change, you only need to create a new transaction on top of a given transaction, but you cannot delete or update a given transaction in blockchain. So any other sector that that you can think of. So for example, Walmart has developed a blockchain solution on their using Hyperledger Fabric for their entire supply chain management, and is currently working in the US. And Broadridge as well, we have developed solutions like the distributed on DLR, which focuses on a part of trade settlement, and another solution called Shareholder Disclosure Hub. We've used blockchain as an underlying solution for solving problems in trade finance and in disclosure of in shareholder disclosures. So the uses of blockchain vary across industries, and it actually depends on the use case, where you have where you have more than two parties involved, and where there are trust issues in terms of the transactions that each party is encountering. From a technology standpoint, let me share my screen. One minute. I am not able to share for some reason. Let me try.
Sampath, sorry, Krishna, let me try giving you a co-host access so that I hope, yeah, it's
You're
working.
able to see? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so if you search through Google, you will have a lot of articles on what it makes to become a blockchain engineer, etc. So this is from a technology standpoint, like what it requires. So if you see, this diagram basically talks at a very granular level, including version control systems, etc., where you are it includes all the technologies, even the granular ones that are part of this blockchain. But at a very high level, what does one need to know apart from programming skills? One needs to understand what is, so for example, see whatever concepts that this diagram presents, it's more related to cryptocurrency. And one misnomer that the industry and people in general have is blockchain is nothing but crypto. Cryptocurrency is powered by blockchain, but blockchain is not equal to crypto. Okay, so what does one need to have as an arsenal to start off with blockchain? The first thing is a sound understanding on cryptography. Okay, uh, because crypto is one of the underlying technologies for blockchain. The second thing is an understanding for distributed systems. About how does CAP theorem work? CAP theorem is the basis of distributed systems. The other thing is good programming skills. Okay, and the last one that one needs is a proper use case. Because when I say a proper use case, when you work on that use case, you need to have some revenue generation, because blockchain requires a lot of infrastructure and investment. And if a use case is not going to generate enough revenue, then not everyone will be interested in investing in blockchain. Okay, so you can still achieve a solution without using blockchain. You can still achieve, but the cost is very high. At the same time, we also need to understand that uh, a blockchain, the blockchain tech gives you certain features out of the box. For example, like ensuring that your your smart contracts are approved. You have a you have a uh, you 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 have a protocol where uh, whatever action you want to do in blockchain is predefined. You have an entity that is maintaining the network, etc. So you have something that comes out of the box. That is, what I meant to say is, like, when you set up a blockchain, all these are uh, uh, mandatory items that are to be followed. So these are something that come out of the box when we adopt blockchain. Uh, so you can still achieve solutions without blockchain, but blockchain actually helps in following up a decorum or a protocol in developing solutions. Like, you'll be able to develop a generalized solution which anyone can understand once you understand the framework. So I have certain questions like, uh, blockchain is part of cybersecurity, or it is entirely different. Blockchain is not part of cybersecurity, but it ensures that your transactions. See, cybersecurity is a different field. So there you actually deal with uh, ensuring that your data is secured, uh, especially in transit or at rest. You are ensured that your systems are protected from external attacks. So here, blockchain is basically, you are ensuring that your transaction is not tampered. Once it is returned to the database, it is done. That's it. Anything that you want to do, it is on top of it. That is, you need to create transaction. So if in terms of CRUD, create, read, update, delete, all you can do is only create and read. You don't have an option to update and delete in blockchain. Uh, any specific questions that you have on blockchain? Because it's a very vast thing that I can talk about. Uh,
And so, Krishna, there are a few questions in the chat box. As I see that,
yeah. Uh,
sir, so blockchain is related to only where finance involves. It's a straight question.
no, it's not. That's what as I mentioned, it's not only for finance. It is across industries. For example, Walmart uses blockchain for its supply chain management. I would suggest, is there a way I can type something on the chat box? Let
Yes,
me.
yes, please. It's open for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll chat. I'll type some resources in the webinar chat, because if I want to type, it's like a question specific answer that I can do, but I want to
So
type answers
I
in.
have changed the settings to everyone. So whatever you type in the chat box will be seen by the candidates as well. So the resources will reach out to them.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, I can see Sampath, you're answering a few questions already. So, okay, Geeta is saying the lower part of the diagram is not visible. Can you scroll or minimize the diagram so that we can see it completely?
Yeah, one. I'll share the link for this as well.
Yeah, that will be great. That's what I was just coming to.
Yeah.
And
So let me. I'll do one thing. I'll type. I'll give a description of the resources and what you want, what you need to do to understand, and how do you go about this. I think that will help you all. The
yes,
first. Uh, uh, I'll share this roadmap. But before that, my suggestion is, there is a person called as Pavel Kravchenko. Okay, this guy is in Ukraine and he has established something called as distributed lab. This person has written three copies, three books on blockchain, and I'm telling you, this person has done his PhD on blockchain and especially on distributed technology. If you are able to, if you are able to uh, purchase, read his books, I'm telling you, you are half, you 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 will get an entire view of what blockchain is, what is the underlying technology that powers uh, what is blockchain forking, what is cryptography, etc. So all this you can understand well if you have books written by uh, Pavel Kravchenko. So he's from Distributed Lab. He runs some companies on from Ukraine. The second thing is I would suggest you to look at ethereum.org. So Ethereum is ETH is one of the cryptocurrencies, uh, just like Bitcoin. But if you read through Ethereum, this even gives you a complete understanding. Okay, Ethereum was started by Vitalik Buterin. Even this is a very good source. But if you want to understand from a use case standpoint, okay, uh, like the about two resources that I've sent you is mostly related to uh, from a technology, like understanding cryptocurrency, understanding distributed systems, understanding oracles, etc. But if you want to understand, if you want to get the motivation as to why blockchain, why do I need blockchain, then I suggest you to read the docs from Hyperledger Fabric. Am I audible, Avneet? Uh, I see a
Yes,
comment that
yes,
my voice
Krishna,
is.
you are very much audible. In between, for a fraction of a second, we lost you, but it is.
So I suggest you to read the docs from Hyperledger Fabric, where the concepts are explained in a very lucid way, like in relation to Hyperledger Fabric, by taking an example of a papernet, a company. It's about a transaction between two companies. So this you, you will understand the business use case as to why blockchain was implemented. So this is a very good resource where you can get through. So all these three resources that I've told you, they are, I feel they will give you the enough tools for you to start off. But as I said, you need a proper use case, and very less companies, especially mostly in the finance area, and in the retail space, you have companies that are working on blockchain. There are some there have been some products even in the pharmaceutical vertical in terms of drug distribution, but the adoption with blockchain is comparatively very less when you compare it with others like cybersecurity or cloud computing or artificial intelligence. Because the underlying reason is one thing: use case. Not every company has a proper use case for a blockchain implementation. The second thing is the cost. If your expenditure outweighs your revenue, then not every company can afford to run a blockchain solution.
So I have a question in the chat, in the question Q&A.
Mm.
So this is for both of you, Sampath and Krishna. So I would put this, just give me a moment. I'll give you the access to speak so that you can ask your question. So this says anonymous attendee. So may I know, please, anonymous attendee, your name? If you can just rename yourself, it will be easier for us to address you at least. Okay, so I'll read out the question. I'm not able to figure out the name here. Hi, Sampath. I'm having 8 years of career break. I had 3.5 years of experience in Android apps. Then I also done some data science courses and applying for job, but not getting any opportunity. So want to ask, in which technology should I focus, like cloud, blockchain, data science, because day by day getting demotivated because of no job. Want to know any roadmap for restart. So both of
Okay.
you can,
So on
answer this
this,
question.
yeah, on this one, Avneeta, I just want to give a general, I wouldn't call it a statement, but my opinion, and this is for everyone. So yeah, you must be hearing like data science is good or cybersecurity is good, blockchain is good. But I also want to understand that whether the participant is also so keen about the technology, because these are like advanced topics. I mean, it's not like I have done a course and I would simply land on a job. I mean, I'm being honest here. So you also need to be passionate about the technology. Only then, and you need to showcase something like you have worked on it. So you need not have a real-time experience, but there are things like, as I mentioned, in YouTube, for everything, for every course, they have a particular problem statement and solution to it. So similarly, we also need to develop our profile, like be it on LinkedIn or be it on GitHub. So you need to have this resume with all these sightings saying like, okay, I have done POCs on so and so, and this is my GitHub back link. So this way, what happens is when an interviewer asks, oh, what's your professional experience and how did you tackle this problem? So definitely when I ask, go for an interview, I don't really care if they have a break. But for me, it's like what's their passion about and what they have done to get into this profile. So have you tried it? It's not just certification, even though sometimes I don't really care about the certification, but I would like to see like, do they actually did their background, like going over like what is cloud computing and how did I deploy at least any application onto cloud, and how did I deploy it? Is it through manually going over button clicks, or there is an automation script which is available, so I used automation to deploy something. So this is the same thing is applicable for even blockchain or even for data science. So people mainly they reach out to others and they might say like, hey, data science is booming. Yes, it's booming, but at the same time, you also need to be passionate. It's not like, okay, one has done it and one has landed into a job, we can also do it. It's always, you need to try, you need to work on it, and that is when you get confidence that, okay, I can, if not this interview, some other interview. So, and I forgot to tell you previously, like apart from these three technologies, there is a booming technology which is like generative AI, Gen AI, where in everything you can ask any question. So let's say Java background, most of the folks are also present. You ask any question within 2 seconds or even less than 2 seconds, it will give you a complete code. You can hear about GitHub Copilot, which will actually prompt you, what's going on. Like if I type an import statement, it will just give you like what's next. So it is predicting you like what you're going to type, and let's say addition of two numbers or a Fibonacci series, anything. You just give a prompt and it gives you an entire code, be it Java or be it Python, any language, it does that. So these are like, so so if you really see the trend, people are not looking for an experienced Java professional. Rather, they could get this job done from a graduate who is just out of the college, and because they know better, they to ask the system like, okay, how do I write this piece of code? They just type in and they get the code. So for that reason, I'm saying like, uh, be smart at the same time. So prompt engineering, I think I've seen one of the question related to prompt engineering, and also I wanted to make this, even though it was not in the topics. So prompt engineering is something which is currently going boom in the market, and I would say like it's not explored yet. So even I'm there, I've started to work on generative AI technology, which is in my current project, but it's still new. It's not explored yet. So this is your time. When something is not explored, people would accept you guys. So you go over internet, there is uh, the OpenAI. It's a big company who has started, or I would say who has been excelled in this industry initially. And Microsoft also has put a lot of shares into it or backing into it. So if you go into OpenAI uh, documentation, they are providing you a number of learnings for prompt engineering, prompt libraries, prompt engineering. So this is something like, uh, I'll give you an example. How do I make a chicken curry, or how do I make a vegan curry? So there are like 2000 recipes already there, but I can customize it. I want some traditional village style cooking with limited resources, because I do have some resources only. Let's say I don't have some spices at my home. So I would say like I am limited with these particular resources, and I need it to be something like not deep fried. I'm giving all such custom prompts so that the backend system is not going to provide you with n number of options, but it is limiting based on the prompts what I provide. So it is exactly giving you the right flavor or the recipe. So this is called as prompt engineering. So there was one instance where a mother had his child diagnosed with some issue. I mean, it's not yet diagnosed. There were symptoms. She was going to each and every doctor, taking a lot of tests, but they were unable to find what's going wrong with the kid. So that woman, after 2 years, I mean, she has been traveling to different doctors, but nothing is working out. So she had used this chat GPT, and it gave prompt. Prompt is nothing but what you key in, and it gave all the details about the symptoms. Because she's a mother, she knows the symptoms of the child. She gave the symptoms and the report details, and what all information she has given it to the prompt. So the backend system, which is, we call it as large language model. So data scientists and all. Nowadays, again, I don't want to discourage you. Data science and all, it was good, but now we have large language models already on top of this thing. So you ask anything, it provides you everything. So I would say like, yeah. So coming back to the topic, so she gave all of this information, and she got the exact diagnosis done by an uh, software tool. And she took that diagnosis to the doctor, and they were surprised how you guys were able to find it. And when they heard that it's through ChatGPT, so ChatGPT has a wealth of information. So it can be used for everything. Nowadays, Scrum Master, I think you might have heard Scrum Master role. So Scrum Master role is mainly used for uh, like the sprint ceremonies, to conduct the sprint ceremonies, create uh, the user stories, and ask them like what's the status of it. There is a video where, using this large language models, they have created an Autobot which is like literally talking to you. Hey Sampath, what's your update today? And when I speak something, it is making down the actions, it is adding it to the user story, it is saying like, okay, Sampath has made this progress and this is what pending. It is even asking me cross questions. So it's super amazed, right? So in the future, it's a hard thing to digest, but in the future, this job might vanish, or it would be taken over by Autobots. Okay, it would be similar thing can be happen to the BPO service, where all the calls and all would be automated. I think it's already started. You are now listening to an automated telling machine which would speak to you, and it would give you answers. It is booking tickets for you. So so prompt engineering is really good. It's not explored yet. It will be there for a certain duration, but definitely there are high paid jobs. So I would say, like, please also look into this technology. Sorry, I've taken a lot of time.
No, Sampath, that I think that is a great explanation which answers a lot many questions together. And I would request Krishna if you want to add something here and put more light
Yeah.
and elaborate it a little more.
Okay. So 10 years back, even I had a career break of 2.5 years. I prepared for UPSC. I didn't clear. Uh, it took me around 6 to 7 months to get a new job, and I went into very distressed phase. But one thing that I continuously did during that time was solving problems. Okay. Uh, see, it's not the amount of knowledge that we gain or the amount of certifications that we do. It's in my honest opinion. In my opinion, it is like, how can you turn your knowledge and skills into solving problems? Okay. How do you do it? You need to practice. And I see some questions like, can you give us some sources where you can where we can do some hands-on. Honestly, if you ask me about honing your programming skills, uh, you have sources like Lead Code, Hacker Rank, Hacker Earth, etc., where you can solve problems, programming challenges, hone your skills. Now, how do you turn these into your real-time uh, real-time projects? My suggestion is, you think of a project in mind. See, I come from a core development background. Okay, so I'll give you my perspective on what it takes for you to be noticed for the interviewers. As Sampath has mentioned, whatever small amount of work you do, have it in your GitHub and share that GitHub in your resumes. What is the work that you are going to put in there? See, it can be a simple, if you are a web developer, if you are looking for a web development role, and you are learning React, develop a website related to, say, food business for a, okay. Uh, you see Swiggy, you see Zomato, try to build a clone of that. Now look at different aspects of that. For example, responsiveness. How do you handle the first how do you handle the loading of site at at where the internet speeds are minimal? So these are the questions that people ask you in the interviews. Okay. See, React code, etc., as Sampath has mentioned, you nowadays you use prompts, you will get it. So if I draw this, it's an analogy to calculators. See, 40, 50 years back, when you didn't have calculators, people used to calculate on their fingertips. But now, next, what happened after the invention of calculators? It is you're using as a tool to solve certain problems. So it's chat GPT, prompt engineering, etc. You should take these as your additional tools at your arsenal to solve a given problem. So you ask it to give a React code, you ask it to give a certain code in Java. It will give you, but two things. As an engineer, you should be confident whether that code is proper or not. The second thing is, where are you able to accommodate that particular part of code? The third thing is the performance, etc. So all these things, how do you gain this knowledge? So it is like you should develop a use case. GitHub is kind of a yeah. So whatever use case that you want to do, whatever problems that you're solving, have it on GitHub, and every day continuously update your LinkedIn profile. Start creating posts. Whatever learning that you have, start creating posts on LinkedIn. This helps you in two ways. First thing is you are every day updating your profile. That means whenever a recruiter is searching for a certain skill set, your profile always comes on the top because it's always the latest profile. The second thing is you are sharing your knowledge with the rest of the world. Okay. It takes time, but you need to be consistent. Only consistency, problem solving, and focus. I think these three skills are definitely, it should be part of one's attitude to get anything in life.
That's really well said, Krishna. I mean, like, anything. It's not just related to the topics we are talking about here today. It is relate. It should be the attitude of life.
Correct.
Yeah. So there are many other questions, flowing in. There is a lot of confusions I would see that which is there with the candidates. So if you can, I'll try to give the access to a few of the candidates and they can ask their questions themselves.
Sure.
So yeah, if that's okay with you also. So
Yeah.
Neha, you can ask your question yourself, please. Neha K.
Yeah. Hi, good morning. Yeah, so
Hello.
yeah, I have 11 years of experience in Java, and after that, I did Salesforce also, and on Salesforce, I did PD1 certification too. So but in Salesforce, I do not have any industrial experience. I attended one professional training course that was like a 4-month course, and during that training session, we did couple of projects there, but they are not recruiters are not considering those projects, they want experience on live projects. So it's not like I'm not getting calls, like 5-6 calls 5-6 calls I'm getting daily on Salesforce, but either on Salesforce or on Java. But so two things are happening. Either they are not considering my gap, they are not okay with that, or as soon as they come to know like I do not have any experience on Salesforce, so like they say no. So I
This
have done certification too. So this is like a whole scenario.
so honest, Neha, I'm telling you, not many HRs are positive about career gaps and all. I'm telling you honestly because I underwent the same thing. Okay, the optimistic attitude, I feel HR should have that. But second thing, in your case, see, you have Java, you have Salesforce. Uh, so what's your experience in Java? Like, do you still like to code, or you feel that coding is out of your bound,
No,
or
I
what
still
is that?
feel comfortable in coding. I do practice on lead code on tag gig.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm also interested in data structure. Whenever I get time, I read different algorithms. I'm still interested in Java coding. And the other problem is like I have a 4 years of career gap. So 4 years back, I'd never get a chance to work on microservice architecture. So my whole experience of 11 years is in monolithic architecture only. So monolithic is like outdated one. So that is again a big problem.
So I just wanted to add one thing here. So whatever answers or suggestions which we are providing to Neha might not be suitable for others, because Neha is more of a technical. She already has done work on programming and she's able to understand the programming language. So you guys don't get confused or probably scared about the suggestions which we provide to Neha are definitely different for you. So just have with an open mind. But what I would say is, Neha, you also don't consider that gap as something which is stopping you. Definitely, yes, certain companies might not. Um, I mean, they might look for someone who is not having gap, but there are other programs. Even as I mentioned, even in Broadridge, we had this program a while back where returning women who has a gap in their career, or they want to restart their work, Broadridge welcomes that, and there was a program 6 months back. So I'm not really sure if that's going to happen again, but definitely there are programs in every company. Like it's one of their standards to do it when they want to be in that great place to work category. So definitely you would find opportunities, but we need to be ready. So I would say, like, be confident. As you speak, you are already confident, but I want you to be like do your works, tell them that, yeah, I've been training within my 2 years of break or 4 years of break. I did take a break because it's my personal choice. Okay. You need
Right.
to confidently express that, even if HR approves, even if then it goes to the interviewer, right? So you need to openly, confidently speak about it, and you need not tell them that what's why you have taken it, but you can tell them that it's a personal choice, but you are ready to work, and you are not less than anyone who is already working. You might take some few months to learn, get to speed, but definitely I think you all have very good talent, and you will do better. So please keep that willpower.
Neha, in addition to what Sampath has told, see, first thing is currently the job market is bit low. Okay, just we should
Mhm.
see our getting a job is not only, see, we shouldn't blame ourselves. Okay, our circumstances are actually influenced even by external environment, so we should just keep that in mind. Neha, I'm being very practical. uh, just have this in mind. So the job prospects are improving because a lot of companies are going through deflationary cycles, and the hirings have been frozen. It's expected that by July or by August, the companies will be restarting it, because see, the financial year in the US, see, most of the projects in India, they belong to the US, and the financial year starts from July 1st. Okay, that's when the new budgeting starts, and that's when the new hiring, etc., will start taking place. So for the next 1 or 2 months, definitely you will see a very less amount of jobs that are available, or very less number of conversions into job that we can see, because it's all, the market is currently pretty down. The third thing is, from a technology standpoint, you said like you have an experience on the monolithic architecture versus micros. What is microservices? Basically, you are breaking a feature and converting into an independent
Services.
independent
It's more.
component or a container. Okay, so all you need to do is you need to demonstrate your skill that, boss, I know what is containerization, what is componentization, I know what is a microservice architecture. It is no big deal. Okay, you have something called as hexagonal architecture, you had MVVC architecture, you had MBC architecture. See, I'm telling you, people, see, two things, Neha. When I'm interviewing you, there are two ways in which I can interview you. One thing is, I will ask you questions on what I know, which you may or you may not know. The second thing is, I can ask questions on what you know, whether to assess whether whatever you know is concrete or not. See, if you see some people in their resumes, they write all N technologies. I know C, C++, Java, Perl, Python, etc., etc., etc. Is that a resume or a university which teaches all those languages? See, you should have in when you are writing in your when we write something in your resume, we should be very much uh, very much particular about the skill that we currently know as perfect. Perfect meaning on a rate on a scale of 4 or 5. I know this at 4. I know this at 3 or 2. Meaning, when you say 4, that means this is my current working knowledge on that particular skill. 3 or 2 is I have work on this, but I can answer, but I don't have I cannot give a concrete answer. See, see, the way we structure our resumes, the way we present our skills also matters, Neha.
Right.
Okay, so be positive, Neha. That is what I'm telling you. Just look at your resume every day and see what is that thing that you can add to your resume will give you a change, will give you a change in the approach that you are having towards securing the job again. Second thing is, don't get bogged down by the asks of this industry. See, today, like earlier, where you had the infrastructure, not everyone had computers at home. Okay, we had to go to internet cafes to browse the internet. But today you have handheld devices. That means whatever the industry is asking for, you can develop in your own laptop whatever you want to do, whatever microservice architecture or hexagonal architecture, etc., whatever the industry is asking, you can develop your own components at your free time. Just see, I hope it's like you should make it as a hobby. Whatever project that you are doing, make it as a hobby because that will get you more interest. Now, when you attend interviews, you can answer with confidence. See, confidence is what requires. It's not the amount of years of experience. See, that matters. See, for example, today I'm working in blockchain. Tomorrow I go to artificial intelligence. I'm not. I'm equal to a fresher. It is just that I carry a baggage of 12 years or 14 years of industrial experience. That's it. But when I get into new technology, I'm a fresher. Now, what is that making me? What is that the advantage that I have over there? It is the experience that boss I can I understand what the underlying technology is, how it works, and my experience helps me in picking up things faster. This is what helps me scale up. Okay. I think I've taken a long time, but yeah, sorry. I want to give opportunity. Hope that helps, Neha.
Yeah, you filled the positive vibes into me. Yeah, I'm waiting since long. Last year also it happened like under the returning program also I cleared 2 rounds in Amazon. Uh, but they froze that position. They said like we are firing people, and they did fire lots of people. So even after like clearing 2 rounds, I couldn't give the another rounds, and like couldn't get any job. So yeah, market is down there. So
That's what I'm
thank you
sorry,
very
but
much.
I'm sorry for that situation. Yeah.
Thank you, Sampath, and thank you, Krishna. I'm like
Thank you.
that was a great explanation and good motivation, I would say. We have the next question coming from Shruti. Shruti, you can please talk and ask your question.
Yeah, good morning, both of you. So my question is, see, getting a hands-on experience for any doubt clarification, right? So where is the like, we have lot of questions, doubts. We need someone to handhold us, right? So when it comes to mentorship, how can we develop? It's not only Harki is going. I'm not like even after Harki, journey should continue with a mentor, right? So where can we, find the ideal mentorship?
Let me take this. So Shruti, uh, so see, mentor is nothing but a guru. Okay, so someone who keeps you hand holding. But the way today technology is, it's like you cannot say there is one person who can assist you at all points of time. What I do, I have subscription to a lot of YouTube channels. Okay, for example, the freecodecamp.org that I sent you. It's one of the very good resources where you want to learn new technologies. For example, last night I was looking at I was working on a library, and I learned the library through a free code camp tutorial only. Okay, so make YouTube channels a part of your a part of your uh, go-to list. You post a comment, there are people out there who are going to respond to you. The second thing is use free code camp. It's one of the best resources that I can suggest you. Okay. Third thing is use AI tools like ChatGPT. You just give a code to them, code to it, and ask, can you explain me this code? You don't need to restrict for ChatGPT alone. Uh, you can use even Claude, or you can use even Gemini. You can use Copilot. Or one thing, you develop your own. You take an LLM. You take a Llama 2. You develop your own chat. You develop your own chatbot. You develop your own chatbot to ask questions to it. So even that is a project that you can think of as a hands-on. And you have a lot of courses. There are a lot of tutorials on YouTube which say how do I build a chatbot. So everyone comes up with their own way of building one. See, it's like the process of learning is now democratized. You don't need to go to an institute today. You don't need to go to search for resources. It's all available across the internet. You have a lot of books. All you need to do is just focus, concentrate, have that attitude to learn.
Thank you, Krishna. Sampath, would you want
Thank
to
you.
add something here?
No, I think Krishna summed it all. So information is available for free, I would say. So just go and explore. There's a lot of content. Even I would say experts than us are already available. They are putting content for free. So just take it and go over the learnings, I would say.
Okay, so before coming to next question, I'm reading out a question from Jaita. Hi, I am from teaching background and here I am learning AI and IPA. Can you suggest out this four course big data? This for course big data, cybersecurity, cloud computing, blockchain. Which course is best for work from home? Remote job is my priority. The reason I read out this question because most of the restarter women think of work from home opportunities. So we can just put in some light on this.
See, when it's remote, even I'm a big fan of remote, but unfortunately, my company wants me to be in office, and there are some strict rules, and that's for a reason because collaboration is really important when we work on these technologies. So, but working from remote is also uh, a thing nowadays. It is starting, I would say, because it's easy for many startups to start their journey without any office location. And so few companies, large enterprises might not agree to it, but small enterprises, definitely it's working out for them. So I would say if you are remote, definitely you would miss that connection where you can share your experience, talk them, and yeah, if there is an issue, let's say, if I'm in office, I can get it closed easily. But if it's remote, it's a bit tough, but still doable. So if you're talking about which technology, again, it depends on the passion you have, but uh, if you are looking at the current trends, cloud computing and prompt engineering. Prompt engineering is something which I can see like on the LinkedIn. I would say like rather than me or Krishna saying like, hey, just look into this technology or this technology, rather than blindly following us, I would say go on to the LinkedIn, just type in the technology like cloud or prompt engineering, and then you will find the list of jobs available. And clearly they would mention like hybrid, on-site, remote. Only remote you can filter, and there are multiple jobs which are available for remote as well. And I have seen it myself for prompt engineering and cloud computing, but prompt engineering a bit more. So based on the trends, I would say you can do courses and you can apply for remote jobs. Yeah. Anything
Another
to add,
dose of
Krishna? Yeah.
another dose of motivation. I've sent you a YouTube link. Okay, so as I said, I subscribe to a lot of YouTube channels, and I found this lady called Farah. Okay, she's an Indian. She's a Mumbaiker. She's an uh, mass comm graduate turned hacker. and she now works for Meta. You read through this interview, you will understand the motivation that she had to pick up cybersecurity and become a hacker. See, if the one gist that I understand from this interview is that it is like it has become her obsession with cybersecurity. Okay. See, that is what is required. See, if you ask me, blockchain is good, I'll say it is good. You ask AI, I'll say it is good. You ask Sampath Cloud, he will vote for cloud. He will say cloud is the best technology on earth. You want to learn at this moment to get a job. He will say that. Even you ask me, I'll say blockchain, yes, 100 years next it will be there. The problem now is you should have that motivation. Okay, if I'm doing cloud, yes, end to end, I should know more than what Sampath knows or what Krishna Teja knows. You should get to that position. I think I shared that link.
Yeah.
See, you should have that motivation. You should, as Sampath said, you should think of it. And whatever you want to do, you have resources out in the internet.
Agreed.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. That was amazing dose of motivation, I would say. Thank you very much. Okay, Khushbu, you can please go ahead and ask your question.
I'm
Unfortunately,
fine.
I'm here for the next 1 minute because I
Yes.
have a
Okay,
call.
I
Yeah.
have a lot of questions. So I'll do one thing, Sampath. I'll just take these questions with me, and I'll try to get in touch with you. And if you can just
Definitely.
answer a few more questions for the candidate,
Very,
that will be
very
great.
sure,
Yeah.
sure.
So I understand.
Sure.
Thank you so very much. Both of you have given a lot of time to us and on a busy day. So we really appreciate and the
Yeah,
patience you have shown during whole session and answered the questions so patiently. Thank you
yeah,
so much for that.
yeah.
And have a lovely day ahead. And thanks for
Thank you,
joining us.
Avneet. Thank you.
I
Thank,
really wish good luck to
All the
everyone
best.
to get into the jobs. Thanks a lot.
thank you
Yeah.
very
Thank you
much.
all. Bye, Sampath.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Ladies, hold back. We have another guest who's joined us. So, hi, Abhijit.
Hi.
Hi,
Good
very
morning
good
to
morning.
you.
Can we have you on the camera, please?
Yeah.
Hi, very good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. Hope I'm visible and audible to everybody.
Yes, very much. Thank you so much. Ladies, let me just introduce Abhijit. He's joined us from UI, and now he will be sharing few more thoughts with us in regard with IPA and RPA. So, Abhijit, over to you.
Thank you so much. I'm very happy to be here talking to all of you. I work for UiPath. I am responsible for skilling in India. I work for the Academic Alliance team, who work with a lot of universities and colleges across the globe. We work with this university to make sure that we have enough of people coming out from these colleges and universities, and they are prepped before they step into the industry, right? So we start the journey with them while they are doing their engineering. We support them with courses, curriculums, syllabuses. We train the faculty. We make sure that the faculty is trained enough to teach these students. We give them learning materials, teaching materials, presentations. We give them access to our software. We give them license so that they just don't learn theory. They also play with it and understand the nitty-gritties of what it is. So in intelligent automation as propagated by UiPath basically refers to the integration of RPA, or rather robotic process automation, with artificial intelligence technologies to automate more complex tasks and process within organizations. So that's what we do. So we are a leading provider of automation solutions, which extends to the traditional automation capabilities by incorporating AI elements such as machine learning, natural language processing, and computer vision. So this enables the automation of tasks that require decision making, data interpretation, and interaction with unstructured data. That's what we do. So what is the key components of intelligent automation? So when I talk about intelligent automation, I need to start that with robotic process automation. So the core of intelligent automation that RPA uses software robots to perform repetitive rule-based tasks across various applications and systems, right? So, and the second thing component which comes in intelligent automation is the AI, because today AI has become a part of the industry. Everybody is talking about it. Everybody is trying to take a piece out of it. There is a huge rush in that particular area. So, what is artificial intelligence? This AI enhances automation by enabling bots to understand, learn, and make decisions. So what does AI includes? So AI includes machine learning, which allows bots to improve performance over time by learning from data, right? So when you give a set of data to these machines, they will uh, go through that, read it, understand that particular data, and it will help you to see how you can improve the performance from this particular data. Then the other one is NLP, which is natural language processing, which enables bots to understand and interact with human language, right? Another component which comes in as a part of intelligent automation is the computer vision, which allows bots to interpret and process visual information. So these are the major components when it comes to uh, intelligent automation. So so let us talk about initially what are the benefits of this intelligent automation? Because if you have to absorb a new technology, we should first look at how is that helping us doing our daily job, doing complex jobs better, right? So this intelligent automation gives you some major benefits. Let me list that out for you guys to understand it better. The first and foremost one is it increases your efficiency, right? So intelligent automation helps you to automate those repetitive tasks. So what will happen when you automate this repetitive task? It will help you to free your time as a human being to look at a much more strategic, complex roles. You can spend more time on those roles, which will help you and the organization to go further. So that's the first and foremost benefits of intelligent automation. The next obvious is cost savings. This reduces the operational cost by minimizing the manual efforts and errors, right? And the third one, in a enterprise uh, world, what we look at is that, okay, we are doing a certain job at a certain space at a certain level. Okay, when does that solution or that technology becomes a success? That becomes a success when you're able to scale it to the next level, right? So this intelligent automation help you to scale these automation efforts across various departments and processes, right? Scalability is one of the major benefits. Another one, which if I talk about, is improved accuracy. So you and me doing a job can have problems, human related problems. I'll have a headache today, I don't feel like working, or I'll have some family engagement, I have to go there, so the jobs get stopped. But when you automate these kind of jobs, what happens is it doesn't have all those problems which comes along with human being, which will help you to decrease the likelihood of human error in data processing and task execution. It will keep on executing the task which is defined to it, and it will not have any error, uh, which in other case, when a human does these jobs, he can uh, make mistakes. Every human being, we are not perfect creations. We tend to make mistakes. That is taken care when it comes to intelligent automation. And the last one, but not the least, uh, this is this enhances the customer experience. So what happens is it speeds up the process and improves the service delivery. So that's a big 4 5 benefits which comes along with intelligent automation. So let us, so we are talking to a group. I mean, you're all people who are looking forward to come back to work, get into a new role, learn a new technology and all of that. So the first question which comes out of your mind is that how significant is this today in jobs market, right? The positive impact is that uh, first what I would like to talk about is about job transformation. So this shifts the nature of work from repetitive tasks to more analytical and strategic roles, creating opportunities for upskilling and career growth. uh, Other one is there are a lot of new job roles which is coming into the market because of intelligent automation. So it demands roles such as RPA developers, automation architects, business analyst, AI specialist, data analyst, and all of these are new job roles which are coming into the market because of intelligent automation. And the third one is business competitiveness. So companies who are adopting intelligent automation can improve their competitive edge, which will eventually lead to the economic growth and potentially more job creation in the long term. So intelligent automation and AI is so significant in today's job market. Some there are so every time when you come up with a new technology, there is positive impact, there is some challenges or concerns. So one of the concern which I will talk about is the skill gaps. There is definitely a mismatch between the skill of the current workforce and those who required for these new roles created by intelligent automation, right? So we need to necessarily have significant investment done in training and education for people to come up and come up to the level where you can work on an enterprise level automation. So that is the reason why we all are here, right? We are here to understand and learn a new technology and see that how it can fetch your business, right? I mean, fetch your job. So that's a reason why. So skill gap is a concern. And the last one is like, I mean, I don't want to talk about it in a different way, but yes, there is an inequality which comes in because it potentially exacerbates economic disparity. It displays workers not adequately supported in transitioning into new roles. So that's a problem which is there. That I don't want to call it as a problem. That's a challenge which I would say. So how do you mitigate these negative impacts to address these challenges posed by automation, intelligent automations? What are the companies or the policymakers doing? The first one is that invest in reskilling and upskilling. That's exactly what Jobs for Her Foundation, Hershakti program, all of them are trying to do. They're trying to provide training programs to help these people transition to that new roles which that require different skills. Foster continuous learning. So that's a very important point. So what we are trying to do is that encourage a culture of continuous learning and adaptation to keep up with technical advancement. That's in today's world, today's challenging world. That is a big a point which we all have to keep in mind. Once you have taken a degree, a BTech or an IIT or an IIM or from any college, that doesn't stop. It shouldn't stop there. It should have a continuous learning policy or package which should be absorbed so that we are uh, continuously updated about what is happening in the industry and how we can contribute positively to the growth of the organization. So that's another important point, right? So another thing which these policymakers and new organization can do is that they can implement supportive policies, like if there are few people who have lost jobs or got moved out of certain roles, uh, they can be given job placement services, they can be given education subsidies, they can given training opportunities wherein they can go and get skilled and move into the new role. So these are a couple of things which I would definitely want to talk to you. That's the reason why I thought, okay, when I talk about how good or important is this new technology, I should also let you know what are the flip sides of it. So that is a little about that. So I am assuming that you all have heard about what is intelligent automation all about. So can any of you message, if you can message, or if in chat you can put, am I able to, am I audible to everyone?
Yes, Abhijit. I thank you so much. It was a very crisp and great explanation, right at the point, kind of things you have shared with us. So yes, after this, if you can answer few of the questions which are
Mm-hmm,
there.
mm-hmm.
Uh, so what is the future market of IPA is one of the common questions from a lot of candidates.
Future market of,
IPA.
okay, that is the intelligent automation process you're talking
Yes.
about. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, the future is really bright. We are getting more and more uh, requests from the customers uh, to imbibe intelligent automation into their services, into their products, and all of that. So we are up in the game. We are making sure that we are one step above all the other players to make sure we contribute to that. So the market growth projection is there is a rapid expansion which is going to come. The Indian automation market is expected to grow at a robust pace, right? The estimates suggest that the market could reach tens of billions of dollars over the next decade. Uh, that'll be driven by the widespread adoption of AI and RPA technologies, or I should say automation technologies. Another thing is the industry adoption. Many industries, apart from the regular IT industries such as finance, healthcare, manufacturing, retail, logistics, all are going to be leading adopters of intelligent automation. So if you are learning this particular technology, don't assume that you're going to get a job only in a particular industry, which is IT. No, you will have opportunities coming up with finance, healthcare, manufacturing, retail, all of them, right? So the demand of these technologies is going to expand into new areas like legal services, education, and government. So there is a huge scope in the coming days for this particular technology.
Thank you, Abhijit. That was quite an elaborative answer. So, though of course it does, answer this question also, is
Mhm.
IPA completely non-technical domain? So, of course, that you have covered in this. So, I would come to next question on this is, are there any internship opportunities for restarter? What prerequisite skills are required for RPA in your opinion?
Uh, Internship, of course, yes, we give it to, not for people who are restarting their career. Um, we give internships to students who are passing out of the colleges and who are part of our program. In fact, yesterday we have welcomed our new set of interns into our company. There was a huge appreciation email which has gone out to all of them for performing some really good things in our hackathons and things like that. But internship for people who are restarting their career, as of now, we are not. And Yes, we don't restrict anybody or rather, I should say, there is no prerequisite as such for learning automation. But of course, yes, we have defined our learning in certain ways. We start with the basic course of knowing what is RPA. Somebody who takes that will be able to understand what this particular technology can do. But if you go into the next level, we will again train you in such a way that, okay, anybody who understands a little bit of computers should be able to understand this is a low code, no code kind of platform. But when it comes to the developer kind of role, a technical know-how is suggested, because you'll understand how this entire system works, how where you have to give a command, where you have, should be pulling up features, and how you do that. A little bit of technical know-how is will work in your favor when you go into a particular automation developer kind of role. Yeah.
Thank you, Abhijit. The next question is, most of the time there are written assessments to be cleared in job openings. Where can one practice this case studies? If you can just put some light on this.
Can you repeat that question for me? I didn't hear
Yes,
you.
sure. You can read that question in the Q&A section. It
It's
is the
there.
last
Okay.
question
I'll
from
check that.
Swati.
I'll check that. I'll check
Yeah,
that.
sure.
What are the rules available in intelligent process automation? Is that
Okay,
the question?
that's in the chat box. Yes, you can answer that as well. And there is one more question in the Q&A section. I'll read it out for you. You
Okay,
can,
okay, I got it. I got it. I got
yeah.
it. Most of the time,
Okay.
there are written assessments to be cleared in job openings. Where can one practice these case studies? So
Right.
it is not exactly the way we have written here it goes. So it depends on what kind of role you apply for. There are a lot of new roles which is coming. There are program managing roles. There are project management roles. There are developer automation developer roles. There are architect level roles. So there's a huge gamut of new openings which has come up. So it typically depends on that. I will all suggest you my humble request is to go and check the UiPath Academy, which is free for all. And check your level of courses. When I say your level of courses, what is your level of understanding when it comes to technology? You can select a course simultaneously and start doing that course. So what happens here is when you have to do any kind of assessments, any kind of small projects, we have included exercises and projects along with these courses, wherein once you finish a module, there will be a small exercise which you have to complete to go to the next one. So that will help you to practice of what you've learned in that particular module. So that's the best way to go ahead.
I hope it answers a lot of questions here, repeated questions which were there.
Mhm.
So if you can just share the link if it'll be
I'm
easier
just
for the
I'm
candidates.
I am just taking that. Okay.
Sure. Thank you so much, Abhijit. That will be a great help.
Yeah.
So Shruti, Khushbu, you can please first talk. Abhijit, if you can just take this question. Khushbu, you can talk and state your question, please.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Sir, my question was about cloud computing. Can you answer that?
No, ma'am, I am not a specialist in cloud computing.
So,
Okay.
Khushbu, for cloud computing question, you can write it to me, and I will try to get in touch with Sampath, and then we'll be able to get you the answer.
So I have put the link in the chat. Everybody can look into that. academy.uipath.com.
Thank you, Abhijit. Thank you for that, and I shall be sharing this with my candidates as well. Anybody has any other question related to IPA for Abhijit? We can take up that question. You can write either in the chat box or in the Q&A section.
I want to show you a couple of roles. Just allow me to share my screen.
I think you will be able to share, Abhijit. Please
Yeah,
try if you
yeah,
can.
I'm just doing that. Please give me a
Sure.
second.
Also, there are a lot of people who are asking for your LinkedIn ID. If you can just share
It is
the.
just you can just search with my name and uh, UiPath. I'm sure you are able to see my screen.
Yes.
So these are the roles which are currently there. This is an India specific thing. Junior RPA developer, senior RPA developer, RPA solution architect, RPA project manager, RPA consultant, RPA business analyst. These are few roles which are currently there in the market. You can search for that. I think which will help you to understand what are the kind of roles and what are the specific ask from those companies for a role like this.
Okay.
Yeah,
Ladies, you can take a screenshot of this, which can, help you in the later analyzation as well. So, that will be great if you can take a screenshot and then think about it too.
yeah. And feel free to write to me on LinkedIn and whatever help I can do, I'll be happy to do. Anyway, we are coming up with few cohorts in the coming days with Jobs for Her Foundation. So we'll be looking forward to see all of you there.
So, Abhijit, we have one question here. What does RPA business analyst do? So, if can you just talk about it a bit?
About what a business analyst do.
Yeah.
So, business analyst role, let me try and share that here.
Analyst or developer, in these kind of opportunities, what is the role?
What I have something for that. Let me just try and search for it. Um, Presentation itself. Let me just check. Give me a minute.
Sure.
Find that. Just give me a second. So I'm not able to find that. So a business analyst, when it comes to intelligent automation, it plays a very crucial role, right? So that person ensures that the successful implementation and integration of these automation technologies within the organization, right? Their responsibility will be from identifying automation opportunities, um, to ensure that the deployed solution, there'll be already solutions which will be there in the industry, right? I mean, or in the company. They have to make sure that that matches the business needs and drive value. So that is the major role of a business analyst. So if you can talk about what specifically is their roles and responsibility, I would say first is process identification and analysis. You should take up, you should gather requirements. You should be able to design a solution around it with what you have and what is the organization goal. And then once you identify that particular solution, you should be able to implement and test that. And then you should also do that change management, because that is also something which is very critical. You take up a new technology, you find all that is fine. I mean, you find the fitment, what is the solution which can add value and all that. But there are a set of people who are already doing something else in the organization. So you should make sure that they are aligned to this new change which you're bringing in. You should support that with training and what is required for the current employees. You should be able to communicate that properly to those people. And then once that is done, you should implement that. And then there should be a performance monitoring and optimization, because once you bring in the change, you need to measure that how well is that going in terms of the organizational objectives. You need to see whether it is going in the right fashion. You should be able to map that. And once you map that, you can figure out what is going wrong, what is going right. And once you understand that, you should be able to optimize it. So these are the kind of major roles which a business analyst perform um, in a scenario like business analyst, or in an automation technology related thing.
Thank you,
Hope I
Abhijit.
answered your question.
Yes, it does explain a lot of it, of course. And moving forward, when we will be having the cohorts, of course, there will be a lot more clarity on this.
Yeah, so I will make sure that I missed to present a presentation which I have made for you guys. But in the cohort, what we'll make sure that we will take them in detail about what is RPA, how do you do it, what you do it, what are the different levels in RPA learning, how you should take up that. All of that we will take them during our cohort.
Yeah. So a brief answer, if you can just state on a question, what are the tools associated with with this technology?
Tools.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of platforms which is, I mean, in the UiPath platforms, there are a lot of things which you can look at. So we do a lot of basically, what do you call? We do so automation. So UiPath is a platform, right? So in that you have various things which you can look at. First is definitely a bots with attended, which is attended or non-attended. Then you have document understanding tool. Then you have the mapping tool. So a lot of things are there. So I would request you to go and have a look at the the UiPath platforms itself, so which will give you a fair idea of how vast is that. I probably will not be able to cover that or answer that in a simple question. It is a little bigger picture which I will need to give, which I can do that in the next session when we do the cohort. Right now, I would request you to look at UiPath uh, website, which will give you a lot of information on what are the various different things which you work on. And there are tools which is related to each of these things.
Great. That will be, it's always better to have a bigger picture and not let's cut it short in,
Yeah,
few words.
because so
Yeah.
it's not just one thing.
Yes, which can be put in right away.
Yeah.
I get that, Abhijit.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Abhijit. And ladies, for all of you who were asking LinkedIn profile of Abhijit,
I'm just sharing that. Give me a second. I'll do that.
I have posted that in the chat,
Oh, okay, cool.
Abhijit. So you can get connected with Abhijit on the LinkedIn as well if there are any questions. You can write to me and I will try to get in touch with Abhijit and get some answers for you. So thank you so very much, Abhijit, for taking out the time and sharing the insight with us. And let's plan for a best cohort coming up and the best of the things coming their way.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Abhijit, and
Thank you.
have a lovely day ahead.
You too. Thank you.
Okay,
All the best.
ladies, please stay back and we'll chat a little more. Thank you, Abhijit.
Bye. See you
Bye
all.
bye. Okay, ladies, there are whatever information was there, we have shared, and now today I will be sharing a Google form with all of you in which there will be the track selection as we are almost in the fourth week of our Hershakti phase 1 program. So please